Hello and welcome to Sportsbet.io's Euro podcast. This is this week's Serie A podcast, but don't forget there is a La Liga and a Bundesliga podcast every week as well. Do head to the Clubhouse TV YouTube channel to find them all. We are joined as always by our good friend in Italy, Daniele Veri. Daniele, this is another really interesting week in Serie A. We're going to start with Udinese against Juventus. Udinese really were the side, Daniele, that last season put the final nail in Juventus' title challenge. Only Inter have won in Udinese so far this season. This game doesn't look like a clear Juve win to me.
I remember quite well Udinese winning against Juventus last year. It was in February with a Giannetti goal, 1-0, the final result. They've been very good at home. They've been very good overall, Udinese so far. They've been very good at home, especially they lost to Inter, but that's, something you can expect somehow. Yeah. But they won 4 games out of 5 at home against Lazio at the beginning, and then Bologna, Como and Cagliari, I think. So they are a very difficult side. They are a solid side. They are a side that runs a lot of kilometers, and they are united. Their manager Runaic said the other week, if people want to dream, let them dream. We will try to keep our feet on the ground and carry on with our work without dreaming too much. But it's a fact that people are starting to smell something interesting in Udine, definitely.
They're looking really good. Off the back of, we've mentioned Inter Milan and we've mentioned Juventus, so I suppose very quickly, it'd be remiss of us not to discuss that game the other day, the 4-4 draw, which was just a remarkable match.
It was a remarkable match. It was a match also with plenty of defensive mistakes. It was a match that Inter had in hand already. They had sort of already won. And then Yildiz came in and scored twice, but more than that, it's just, I don't know. Yildiz scored a couple of great goals, but I was very concerned with Inter and their attitude on the pitch. They kept sort of pushing, but without the necessary intensity, especially when they're not in ball possession. So they let a couple of possibilities on counter-attack for Juventus that you wouldn't see them concede last season. So there is something going on there. Maybe the fact that they won last year somehow unconsciously plays a role in their mind. Last year they wouldn't have kept pushing, or if they did, they would have done it in a, let's say, more intense way. So they are pushing higher on the pitch. I've seen stats these days. They are pushing higher on the pitch in order to go back into possession, but they don't do it with the right intensity. So it's easier for opponents to find a way in counterattacks, and this is something Simone Inzaghi will have to work on, especially mentally, I guess, because it's not a matter of fitness; it's more a matter of attitude on the pitch.
On the other side of Milan, AC travel to take on Monza. AC Milan have had a number of issues. They've had a bit of a flu in the camp. They've had suspensions. Obviously, the Bologna game was postponed with that horrible flooding that we saw. This is a game that anyone looking at this would say, AC Milan beat Monza. It's easy peasy. I think they probably do, but I don't think it's going to be a battering.
We've seen the result of the game last night. AC Milan losing at home to Napoli.
Yeah.
Doing a decent game, all in all, given the list of the absentees, given the fact that Hernandez and Reinders also were not available through suspension.
Yeah.
Given it all, AC Milan did a good work. They also had a goal disallowed, Morata with a nice header at the beginning of the second half. But having said that, Napoli resisted very well. Napoli deserved to win. Napoli scored twice in the first half. But there's a difference, Napoli had a fallimentary season last year, disaster of a season last year. What did they do? Hired Antonio Conte for $6.5 million a year. A lot of money, but he's a massive manager. They needed a defender badly. They realized that without Kim at the back, there's an issue. So they bought Buongiorno for $40 million. What did AC Milan? Yeah. What did AC Milan do? AC Milan got Fonseca for 2.5 million. Fonseca, not Conte.
Yeah.
They needed a defender badly because AC Milan had a massive issue in the defense. They bought Pavlovic of Salzburg for less than 20 million. So it's not only a matter of money, but it's, I mean, on the market, if you act properly, if you realize what your issues are and you're ready to fix them, like Napoli did, then fair enough. I mean, you need a striker. Napoli, I mean, is he good? Is he not? Everyone can have his own opinion.
Literally no one knows.
I mean, no. What I'm saying is Lukaku good or not, or is it the best Lukaku? Blah blah blah. Whatever. Conte wanted Lukaku. What did Napoli? They got him Lukaku. What did AC Milan do? Got Morata for 13 million for a buyout clause with 13 million. It's not the same thing. So it's not the same thing. It's not going on the market with clear ideas. And Abraham on the last day of transfer market on a free loan. Yeah. I mean, do you really want to sell people or tell people that you can win the league like Fonseca was saying until yesterday or the day before doing that? It's difficult. It's difficult, mate.
Well, the Lukaku thing, I honestly don't know there's a player in world football who I don't know what I think of to the extent of Lukaku, where I go, he's amazing, he's awful, he's amazing. I've got no.
He scored even last night, so tell whatever you want.
But my brain just can't work him out. And also, you know, sometimes it's better to spend £40 million on one player to have for 5 years than it is to spend, you know, 15 million 5 or 6 times and not get the right answer. You know, you never quite. You've got to sometimes leap into that more expensive thing, knowing it's going to save you money further down the line. You mentioned
exactly,
Napoli there.
But you then have to go back onto the market if you realize that the quality that you bought or the players that you bought are not those who are really functional to your expectation or prospects.